Whichever way works, man.
You.
All right. All right. Hello and good morning, people. Welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics this week and this past week. Just a reminder that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found here on Facebook, YouTube. Our Facebook page is Brandon Price and myself, Jamar Goodman. Also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Today is June 4th. We're already in June, first weekend of June. And basically, the main event is the NBA Finals, right? And we're going to definitely talk about that shortly. Also, we're coming up to the dog days of summer. Baseball is upon us in the, mid-stride there, NFL in a couple of months. But nevertheless, introducing my brother from another mother, Mr. Brandon Price. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm really flattered, man. And my brother from another mother. I appreciate that, bro.
Always, man. But yeah, bro, let's get down into it. So game one happened Thursday. We saw Boston catch fire in the fourth quarter. Stunner to certain people is just basically just real quick, just quick thoughts of that game and how it played out and your thoughts going forward.
Man, so let's start with Golden State. Steph Curry, right, bro? 21 points in the first quarter. He immediately come in the game cooking, right? He pretty much, got a great start, and it reminded me, okay, Steph Curry is excited to be back here. He want to be back here, he's ready for this moment. He's been preparing for this moment. It was right. Clear as day. Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole. For me, those were two, let's say, outliers, bro. And the reason why I say those two guys were outliers is because I don't feel like Jamar, they had the best games. Steph had 21 in the first quarter, then 13 for the rest of the way in the last three quarters. So they, kind of held him relatively in check for a Steph Curry-esque type, ability that he has. So that was, something that, let's say we'll be looking forward to in game two to see if Steph can get some help from Klay and Jordan Poole. On the other hand, let me talk about the entire game, man. For me, bro, I really... And you and Ann have heard me state this recently. The best player in that locker room for the Celtics, I don't think it's Jason Tatum. I think it's Jaylen Brown. I think he's the best player, and I think he's the most important player. Without Jaylen Brown Thursday night, bro, I don't think they win the game. I don't think if he go on that little run and get hot and get those 3 buckets in a row that, Boston begins to wake up. I have repeatedly called Jaylen Brown a shark, bro. And you know why? Because when Jaylen Brown gets the ball and he sees the defense, right, he sees a lane and he does what most right-handed players do. He goes straight to his right, put his head down, and get the attack and straight towards the basket, okay? And, if you're right there and you build a wall, which if you notice in the third quarter, bro, when Golden State kind of separated, guess what they were doing? They were putting Wiggins and Draymond in a wall, bro, to say, hey, we're not going to let Jaylen Brown attack, And, so basically Tatum, I give him credit too. They built the wall on Tatum, and I don't know if you noticed, Jamar, but he did this real slick step where he went this way.
Right.
Went this way, and I'm like, I was just sitting there thinking from a basis of our core as men, anybody that work out, you work out on your core. And I'm just sitting there thinking he been in the weight room, Jamar, working on that core, because he went boom, boom in a really tight space and still laid that joint up. I'm like, that's where people look at Jason Tatum and be like, hey, this is where the superstar potential is, because that was a superstar basket. It really was. And Golden State made them earn it. Both defenses are excellent. These are superior defensive teams. Golden State, as stated, building that wall, that's where they mostly run away from teams. when they built that wall and Jason Tatum still scored that basket, I'm like, that's what makes him a superstar. But Jaylen Brown is the shark. I feel like, bro, Jaylen Brown is the one that got that Kobe in him. I feel like he got some Jordan in him. I feel like he got some type of killer in him because that dude, he won't smoke. He ain't afraid of Draymond. Of course, Draymond ain't afraid of him. You see them kind of going back and forth. And Jaylen Brown just like, wait till I get a basket or two, bro. Like y'all sitting here acting like this game over. Golden State is known for third quarters, but I'm here, y'all, to rebuttal that Boston is for the fourth quarter. They showed it Thursday. Golden State, boom. Do what they do every game. We've said this on an Early Morning Sports Talk podcast plenty of times. That Golden State wears you out in the third quarter, and that's where they separate themselves. And by that time, your confidence is just gone. And the game is damn near probably over because you're down by 20 or 30. But as Boston was down damn near by 20, Jaylen Brown got them few baskets, got to the line, hit them threes, got hot, and boom. Boston showed the heart of a champion. And I'm here to say, y'all, Boston, I know it might not be a popular finals picks, but they are no freaking joke. Golden State learned a valuable lesson Thursday night, Jamar. Don't play with Boston. Don't take them as a joke, because they do, they're going to find themselves being real salty real soon.
I mean, you're speaking facts, man. So Jaylen Brown was the one that weathered the storm until Boston, got it together in that fourth quarter. Jaylen Brown kept them afloat because, at the end of the third quarter, I mean, Golden State outscored them by 14 points in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. It just so happened that Boston put up 40 points alone in the fourth quarter and had a plus 24 on that one. Mm-hmm. I know you said Jaylen Brown is probably the best player. I agree with you as far as him being the most important player, but Jason Tatum, I still believe, is the best player, even though he did not play the best as far as shooting wise, 3 of 17, but he had a career high of 13 assists. That means he did not let the game, get away from him all the way around.
Thank you for bringing up that point. That was beautiful. 13 assists. I saw that.
Career high. So that lets me know that he was still part of the game. He didn't let the shooting slump get to him. He was still actively getting his teammates involved. And that's, the difference between the Boston Celtics team that we seen at the beginning of the year and what we're seeing now. Like, this team as a collective unit is dangerous.
Right.
And so, Steph Curry, came out on fire. Like you said, he has a point to prove. He has a statement to make. He know he's on a mission. So, him having 21 points and finishing with 34. Like you were saying, man, like, they're scoring big three between him, Thompson, and Poole. Collectively, they could play better. They could definitely play better. Not sure if you heard what Draymond Green said after the post game, but basically saying that those threes that they was hitting is more so of a fluke.
Right. Between Horford, he stated right, they hit like 23 out of 35 attempts or something like that. No, it was 23, because he said 8, 8, and 7. And so basically, they shot, those amount of threes, and that it basically won't happen again. It's very unlikely. And I don't know, Jamar. I feel like with Boston, that's where they get you. That's where they get you sucked in. Like, they can shoot. I don't know if he's tweaking, bro, but they can shoot really well. I highly doubt if Al Horford is going to come out there and not shoot well again. He is going to shoot well again. And I think he plays well in these type of moments. He loves the lights.
Look, let me ask you this, because, Al Horford shot 6 of 8 from behind the three. Is that going to happen again, though? That part right there?
I won't say 6 or 8, but I'll give him 4.
Okay.
In every game. I give him at least 3 or 4 every game.
All right. Marcus Smart, 4 or 7. Is that going to happen every game?
Very well possible.
Derek White.
That's possible. I think we both know that's possible.
I mean, it's possible, but is it going to happen every game? Because the thing is, like, you cannot get into a shooting contest with the Warriors. They just happen to catch fire at the right time. But overall, as we know, like, Golden State has unlimited ammo compared to a team that just, happened to hit their stride at the right time, because Jaylen Brown kept them afloat until they caught stride. Derek White, he shot 5 of 8 from behind the arc. Is he going to continue to do that? Because when I was watching, I felt like the man couldn't miss. So I'm like, what is going on?
I told you and Ian in the conference finals that I felt like Derek White is a championship caliber type player. He's the type of guy that you need that really shows up in the big moments. He don't mind running to get the ball, saving it out of bounds. He don't mind getting you that clutch layup. He don't mind getting to the free throw line. And here we go Thursday night. He just so happened to be hot from the 3-point line. Yeah. Golden State, bro, they got a worthy damn opponent. They got a worthy opponent. They got a very, very worthy opponent. But you are totally right, bro. Like, the odds of that is not going to happen. But then again, Jamar, what are the odds of Jason Tatum having the numbers he had? I eventually believe that he's going to eventually catch fire himself.
He will. I mean, I don't expect him to shoot 3 of 17 ever again in this series because he hasn't shot that bad at all in the playoffs this year. But with him scoring all those points, like, that assist total is going to go down because I don't expect him to have that many assists either. So that's going to take away from somebody else. So more so, can the Boston role players be consistent going forward? Because I expect Golden State to come out with a haymaker in game 2 because they know darn well they cannot go back to Boston being down 0-2.
Right. I agree, man. But you know, the funny thing is, I feel like Boston is so prepared for that, bro. Like, I feel like mentally, what Golden State has in regards to coming out with these haymakers, I feel like Boston, once they kind of settle in, bro, is like, we ready for that smoke. This is what we trying to tell y'all. Like, yeah, y'all gonna come out with these haymakers, but, you know, we gonna come out with them too. And we gonna come out with them as the game continue to develop. And so that's where, you know, I feel like they're gonna come out blowing haymaker for haymaker.
They just might, but it's like Tatum had a bad game, but everybody else played excellent. Curry had a great game, but Wiggins did too. But Clay, Draymond, Looney, Poole, like, they were nowhere to be found.
Offensively, yeah,
exactly. Let 2 of them also be hot, along with Steph or whomever, and I think it's a different story.
I hear you, bro. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think that Jaylen Brown is able to go off in game 1 because, well, I just won't say just game 1, but if I feel like World, and maybe y'all can chime in, and I just want to hit on the comments really quickly, Jamar. Prescott JB stated Jason Tatum went out there Thursday night in panic. Can't happen again. Yep, likely Prescott because first NBA Finals, you know, probably butterflies. Anthony, good morning, bro. Good morning from beautiful Schaumburg since 6:45 a.m. Matt Arrington, good morning, brother. He stated checking in, love the conversation, appreciate it, bro. And so I feel like with Klay Thompson, bro, like, I feel like he's still kind of catching his wind, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
We're not getting the full Klay Thompson that we used to. I feel like with Klay Thompson, his defensive ability, generally he's able to shut down the other team's best player.
That's fact.
And I feel like, yeah, he's not there right now. And that might be an issue for Golden State, you know?
I mean, look at it like this. I mean, Klay Thompson, obviously his impact on this team is sensational because when he's, you know, actually playing, they went to 6 straight finals now with him actually playing. I mean, we knew that he won't be 100% this year, especially coming off of 2 years with Achilles and a torn ACL. And so, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to lock anybody down like we used to seeing. But, you know, if collectively, you know, Golden State is an excellent defensive team collectively as well. So they can, like, put them in right matchups or situations, maybe, you know, throw Wiggins on them for a few, maybe, you know, throw Draymond or whomever that may be that can help them out. Steve Kerr makes adjustments. He's not like, you know, Coach Bud or anybody like that who don't, but yeah, Klay, just overall, Klay has to play better, especially against a team that's, you know, young and hungry and, you know, just want to get after it. I mean, when the Warriors made the finals the first time around, I mean, they didn't have any, you know, finals experience either, and they ended up winning. So, I mean, you just can't take that for granted either.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Klay Thompson, yeah, man, he's vitally important. The odds, you are totally right. What are the odds of these guys from Boston being hot all the entire series? And then definitely with Golden State, what are the odds of these guys being cold as they were for,
right.
you know?
And lastly, like, remember last series against the Heat in the Celtics, like it was haymakers like going back and forth. And I'm like, you getting blown out by a Heat team that can barely score the ball. So, I mean, you're going to run into a juggernaut here who's known for scoring the ball and playing defense. Like, you got to come correct the whole time. Like, can they do it 3 more times? That's the thing.
Right. Yep. Because we are in a series and not necessarily just a game. And so I do admit that it was a big upset. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the Warriors adjust. You know, Kevin Looney, shout out to him, by the way, because he is killing it defensively, Jamar. He is guarding that post. And so one thing I did notice, bro, is that in that third quarter when Golden State went on that run, guess what was happening? Kevin Looney was down there being a man, bro. Like, any tennis come down here, I'm the owner, in other words. Like, literally taking care of things in that post. And, you know, Jaylen Brown, they was trying to get, trying to attack those lanes and etc. Jason Tatum tried to attack his lanes, do his little shot. It wasn't happening. White down there, wasn't happening. So they were forced, let's not forget, they were forced to shoot those threes. And so looking at basketball, Jamar, or just any sport, what are the odds of hitting hard shots, right? And winning a series 3 straight times, right? What are the odds of hitting hard? You need to hit easy shots. And I don't think Golden State's giving up anything easy, just from what I appear and what Boston appeared to try to do, and they just can't do it.
Right. No, I mean, you're right. And then also, did you hear Marcus Smart mic'd up when he's talking about
what he said?
Basically how to guard Steph Curry after that's when they started making adjustments. It was like, this ain't the Heat series. Like, you cannot play back. You got to press up. And basically that's when he started seeing the changes to where they started defending him differently and he couldn't get his shot as much as he needed. So, it's just going to be one of those definitely chess matches. As we know, I mean, both coaches come from the Popovich tree. So it's like, you're going to see some excellent coaching in this series for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's true, man. Popovich tree. Yeah, bro. As I stated to you and Ian, like, I felt like the stuff Steph Curry's usually able to do. I started watching the game, bro, in the second quarter. I didn't see the first quarter. And from when I started watching it, I started seeing him defend Steph very well. Started, reaching for the ball, smacking the ball out of his hand, things of that nature. I'm like, all right. Yeah, and I just seen it look grueling, Jamar, from a fan's perspective, that I'm like, it's hard to score on both of these teams. Like, it's like these baskets are truly, truly earned. And when those baskets are truly earned, that's where that cardio come in, bro.
And check out the comment.
What happened? What they say? Go ahead, bro. You can read it.
So it's from Prescott JB. He said, "Is it just me or both these teams boring compared to past finals? I need to drop a Honey Nut Cheerios joke or something." I mean, for me, I don't find it boring at all. I feel like this is a matchup that I personally want to see because it's going to be hard nosed. They're going to play the game the right way. They're not going to cheat you. They both teams want it for different reasons. So, I mean, I'm all for it. And they're, generally healthy as far as what the team has been all year. So I like it.
Me too. Josh, no, bro. I find this very, very interesting. And the reason why is because it's a heavyweight fight. And as a sports fan, I want to see that. And that's from boxing, that's in soccer, whatever. It does not matter. It just so happened to be basketball. And so I think this is a very exciting final. And I think Prescott JB, if a lot of people are picking this series to go 6 or 7, Jamar, I think it's going to be a pretty good series. And so for most basketball fans, I don't think that's boring, my bro. I think that is something that people want to see.
And then he said, "Are you guys familiar with the Honey Nut Cheerio story? Is he referring to the Garnett and Carmelo Anthony, Lala?
Right. Are you talking about the former
Garnett
great
said, "Lala tastes like Cheerios."
Right. Is that what we were referring to, Josh?
Oh
Like
man,
the Honey Nut Cheerios with KG and Carmelo?
oh,
Now
man.
that you mentioned that, that's great thinking, Jamar, because I was for a minute, I'm like, is this just like a random damn story like about Honey Nut? But no, I remember that. I
Dude,
totally remember that, man.
That was wild.
It was, man. Yeah, KG, man. He remember he done said some stuff in his career.
That's exactly what he's referring to.
Right. Yeah, like KG, yeah, he done said some stuff, man, calling poor Charlie Villanueva. We know what he called him, but call that poor man a cancer patient. Like, yeah.
You couldn't get away with saying that stuff today.
Right. Like KG.
Oh man.
Stop it, man. But he did win the championship with Boston.
Oh, he did. So I guess game 2, it's Sunday. I mean, what do you expect? What do you think the outcome is going to be? Is they going to tie up or they going to go back 0-2?
I'm concerned for Golden State, bro. Now, it really depends on Boston for me, Jamar. And I say that? I feel like people like Jaylen Brown notice this series is 1-0. I don't think he wanted to be 1-1 because he know like doing that, it makes it dangerous. Generally, Jamar, as we know in sports, in basketball especially, the team that's in control is the team that wins. And so even though I feel like if Golden State even win this game, I feel like Boston is the one that's kind of in control. Yeah, I feel like Boston is in control. And the factor that I feel like in this series is Brown. I don't know if nobody can stop this guy. And so in regards to game 2, I'm hopeful because I picked Golden State in 7. I can't renege on that now. I picked Golden State in 7, but I would not be surprised if Boston take their heart again and we be sitting here surprised on Sunday night. I don't know, bro.
So
if I said 7, I'm gonna go with Golden State, Jamar. But man, Boston could very well win that game.
So, like, there's no way that this series is going 0-2 back to Boston. That's just me, because I feel like there's no way that Derek White, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford is going to combine for 65 points again. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Jaylen Brown may get his 20-something. Jason Tatum may get 20-something, but dude, there's no way I can see Derek White getting 21 again or Al Horford getting 26 back-to-back in Golden State in the Chase Arena. I don't see it. And there's no way that I believe the quote-unquote babyface assassin is going to allow that to happen again. I'm pretty sure that he's going to make their life havoc. He's going to create havoc. I believe Klay Thompson's going to play a lot better. I believe Jordan Poole going to play a lot better. I just believe in general he's going to come out with a lot of energy. And
right. And that's important, man. They got to jump on them early.
They do. And I believe by the time we back here next Saturday, because that'll be 4 games have been done, I believe the series will be 2-2 at that point.
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
Right, so
it's a dangerous game, but I'm with you. I picked Golden State in game 2 too. It's hard for me to see them, just giving that up. But I at least want to say this, Jamar.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hard-earned game, too, for Golden State. I don't think, even if they jump out early, Boston going to respond. I don't know if they'll win, but they'll respond. They'll make it interesting.
I'll give you that. And as far as control, I felt like Golden State was in control majority of that game until probably the last 12 minutes. Because at that point, Jaylen Brown took over, and then the rest of the team caught up, and that was all she wrote.
I'm with you. They were in control, but I feel like now Boston has control of the series.
I mean, well, I mean,
Only one way to
we'll,
find out.
yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. All right. So one more comment from Prescott. He said Bill Burr went on Jimmy Kimmel a few days ago saying the NBA is rigged. I believe him, at least up to the point where the refs manipulate the game. I mean, I'm not saying that's false. I mean, there was a Tim Donaghy situation years ago. I don't know. I mean, it could be true. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I can't definitely say that's not possible. I can't.
Right. Yeah, I can't either, man. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people were stating that they felt they wanted to see Miami and Boston go 7. These are people just randomly talking to me. Like they feel like, some people felt like Golden State, like they're so good, Jamar. At least it's coming from a Golden State fan. He like, I feel like the NBA's rigged, man. Like the series should have been over in 4 with Dallas. And I'm like, they sound really spoiled, man. Like, I feel like Dallas played really good that one game. But he like, no, man, I feel like the NBA's rigged. They wanted to see the series extend. Yeah.
There's always going to be that talk. I mean, just take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Exactly. So I got 2 more NBA topics here for you. Okay. All right. So as the same day as Game 1 happened, there was an announcement that LeBron James became the first, active player to be a billionaire. So I know LeBron's your boy. So what's your thoughts on that? Because that's, regardless how anybody may feel, that's impressive.
Peoples Hernandez, this is something else you and Cherie Howard and all y'all LeBron fans could brag upon. That's amazing, bro. Like, man, shout out to LeBron. You holding it down for the dark-skinned brothers, by the way. You are an exceptional individual in public. You do so much for the community, man. Like, I'll be starstruck if I'm in the NBA and I gotta see LeBron James if I'm a rookie or something, and then come think like, wow, I'm literally right next to a billionaire on the court. Like anybody in real life, Jamar, see, if they know this is an active, famous billionaire, would just be starstruck. Like, and so I'm so proud, man. It's more easier in today's world to become a billionaire because more people, when they get that fame and they get that money, they're investing and they're letting that money work for them, and they're not working for the money. I think it's a pathway, Jamar, for more athletes to follow. You see a number of athletes overseas, especially as soccer players, putting their money up, and they're on that Forbes list with LeBron. But LeBron happened to have the most revenue that came in this year. I don't know if it was like 98 or 86 million, something like that. And so his money has grown significantly from his various investments. He's invested into the restaurant industry, the tech industry, etc. And so, and this is on top of his career earnings, bro. And so, yes, I'm very proud, and I hope to see more athletes follow him. I hope to see Steph Curry follow him. Because he's not far behind. His money's growing, bro, as you know.
Yep.
I hope Drake follow him. His money's growing, the music artist. He'll hopefully be there soon. Who else, Jamar, that is very well possible to get there, that's even in the NBA? Tom Brady probably won't get there because he's really taken a lot of pay cuts in his career, but he has a lot of money still coming his way because of his Super Bowl rings, and wherever he goes, people are going to offer him the best. And so he'll have that going for him. So Tom Brady can get there too, bro.
I think so, especially with that TV deal that he signed with Fox.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's insane.
Absolutely. And if you put him and his Gisele's money together already, they probably already billionaires.
Yeah.
As a couple. And so you got more athletes, bro. I think that's going to just be following that ram. And so I'm very proud, man. And it's a Black man too. That's the first active, billionaire. And so that's dope.
It is, man. And, LeBron off the court is just a phenomenal person. I mean, I'm still was it that I believe I promise school, whatever.
Yes.
Like that's still dope to me. And then, even shout out to Jalen Rose for his Jalen Rose Leadership Academy that he has going on for years now. Like just players doing stuff like that and, investing their money, like you said. I mean, it all, started back with, you can start naming guys like Isaiah Thomas back then, Vinny Microwave Johnson investing in stuff. Magic Johnson, I believe they showed like some of the blueprint for what LeBron's doing. I hope LeBron does the same for the next generation. Because like you said, it's a lot easier nowadays. I mean, social media makes it a lot easier. Just the technology that the age that we live in makes it a lot easier. It's just more so, having the right people around you, making sure you're making the right decisions, sound decisions, I mean, investing in sports franchises. I mean, you can do that. I mean, you well on your way. So it's great to see. I may not be the biggest fan of him on the court, but off the court, I have no issues with this man whatsoever. So definitely shout out to LeBron for that one.
And I just want to put out here, Jamar, if we get one more championship from LeBron, and with his billionaire status, I think, yeah, man, it's gonna really, really wing heavy waves, for the people that are LeBron fans in that Jordan debate. Because they're gonna say, hey, if he win this one, they'll be like, hey, this is his 11th finals. He's a billionaire. Like name all the stuff that anybody's ever done and he's done. Jordan then become a billionaire, man, until 13 years after his NBA career ended. Look, Jordan became a billionaire 2016, 2017. I don't know, something like that.
That's
correct.
Yeah.
And with Jordan, he was great, but he never, I would say, had that access to that knowledge. And now that knowledge, Jamar, more people have access to that knowledge. A lot of financial people, white people, held that stuff away from certain people for years. And so now it's out there. And now with the tech industry and all these other things, bro, like you say, you can put your money and diversify it in a portfolio. And you got this big, beautiful portfolio. And you got somebody helping you to manage it,
Absolutely. And I think for Jordan, for one, I would say players' salaries wasn't as great as it is now by any means. No stretch of the imagination. I mean, towards the end of the career, that's when he was getting like $30 million a year. Because before that, it wasn't really much. I think Nike helped him out a lot, or him, doing what he did with the Jordan brand. That definitely gave him a jump start, because even him being retired 20 plus years now, I mean, his shoe is still the most popular shoe out there. So he'll forever have that. But yeah, it's just, I guess, with stuff like this, it's more than one way to get to where you need to be, just different avenues. Now it's just more so the avenues are a lot easier instead of like roaming around in a dark tunnel just trying to figure it out. Now it's like you have, different endings, different lights at the end of the tunnel, how to get there. It's too many ways to be successful out here. Just basically the adage is there's enough money out here for all of us to eat. So basically just go out and go get it. That's basically what it comes down to.
Absolutely, bro. Facts. Absolutely. Indeed. Yep. All right. Yeah.
All right. And then the last NBA topic I got, which is, I think is kind of fun, and I posted on our page a few days ago, the NBA and possible expansion here. And I know there's been talks of it before, but it seemed like we're getting closer and closer to it. Seattle, please bring the Sonics back, and Las Vegas. So if they do that, that'll be 32 teams in the NBA. And at that point, I feel like they would realign the NBA and also probably break it down into 8 divisions like the NFL would do. If I would think they would do that. So, but just the possible thought of like real thoughts of expansion is exciting to me. I want to see it. And it might, balance out more of these teams itself. I mean, in the Eastern Conference, we do have a lot of good teams in that conference. Right. Western Conference is starting to get there. So, I mean, the level of talent is brought into the NBA now. I mean, I think you can do so and not like miss a beat. That's how I feel.
Absolutely, man. Like overall, though, you get, Jamar, when you look at it, like the Western Conference for the last, since Jordan really left, has been the better conference over the Eastern Conference. And when Memphis and those guys came in, it just kept going. It got even better damn near. It was a gauntlet. And so like, one person I randomly talked to, yesterday morning, was like, hey, what about the Vancouver Grizzlies? Bring them back. I started cracking up. But I do kind of miss Vancouver. And it was like, no, seriously, like, Canada should get a second team too again. And I'm like, that wouldn't be bad. I know it'd be tough on travel for a lot of teams. That's why they probably took, because I don't know, Gerard, if you know, but Vancouver's way west, bro.
Yeah, it's like a little north of
Up there.
Seattle, in
Right.
that area, right across the border ish.
Yeah. And so, no, you about to say something about Vancouver?
I was gonna say, like, I mean, I feel like if they bring back Vancouver, then you probably can't bring back Seattle. And the only reason why I'm saying that is if Seattle can, support a team. I know their fan base is great, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that'd be tough in that area because they barely got Portland in that PNW right now. So, but yeah, I would love to see Vancouver back if possible. I'm definitely 100% want Seattle back. I need the Supersonics back in my life.
Yeah, man. Now, on the other hand, I'm with you, bro. I would love to see Seattle. Las Vegas would be fun. Las Vegas is finally expanding now, world, to becoming a major sports city. You got the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and anybody named Mama that's been to Vegas know that team does really well. They are right there, right off the script. The arena is pretty. It's a really nice scene if you're walking through Vegas, Jamar. You see those black and gold, jerseys. And so Vegas rocks with the Knights really hard.
And they're a good team, and that's what makes it even better.
Right. Anybody that's been to Vegas, if you ever go outside that stadium, Jamar, for the Raiders, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. It's like a black, beautiful medallion doll. It is gorgeous to see right off the expressway in Vegas. It is so pretty. So top of the line stadiums, man. And so to see an NBA franchise there, I do not mind. Good luck to the players. Hopefully they won't party too much in Vegas. But at the same time, Vegas is expanding to become that, that city where, everybody's like, yeah, now we can go there for NBA and not just for gambling or partying and stuff like that. My two things I want to really just one thing.
Yeah.
Memphis and New Orleans, I felt like should be in the Eastern Conference, bro. And here's why. Somebody mentioned to me Minnesota, and I'm like, that's a good point, Jamar. But I'm like, are you really gonna put them in a Central Division with the Bulls, Indiana, Cleveland, Detroit, like Milwaukee? Like these are already 5 teams, and I believe generally they have 5 teams. Now it will be interesting because if you got 32 teams and you got the divisions we got, 6 divisions, somebody might have to have 6 teams, maybe. And yep. I don't know if we remember, but I think the Bulls used to have 6 teams in their division at one point.
So they used to only have 4 divisions. So like it was one division that had 8, one had like 2 had 8, 2 had 7 back then, or 2 had 7. It was basically a lot of teams in the division, like at least 7 at one point when there's only 4 divisions.
Right, that'd be a lot. 4 divisions, literally, with 8 teams and 2 conferences.
That's why I was saying earlier that if they was to do it, I think they would have to do it like the NFL, make 8 divisions, 4 teams in each division.
Right, you could do that. You can do that, or you can keep that 5 format where I stated with the Southwest. Like as example, or the Southeast. Let's go to all the conferences really quickly. Bear with us, world. Me and Jamar. Let's see. So, and of course, me and Jamar just want to basically break down the divisions. And so, there's various divisions. There's generally 5 teams in each division. And that's kind of how that works, guys. And so, as example, we got the Atlantic Division. And with the Atlantic Division, Jamar. That is Celtics, Sixers, Raptors, Nets, and Knicks. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that division. That division should be that way.
Yeah, that's
You
strictly
know,
the Northeast. So
that's
yeah,
strictly the Northeast. Exactly. That's strictly the Northeast. And, that's how it should be. The Central, right? The Central. We got, our 5 teams: Milwaukee, Indiana, Bulls, Detroit, Cleveland.
Midwest right there.
Right, and so what do you put Minnesota? I don't know, but I know with the Southeast. So we got Miami, we got Orlando, we got Atlanta, we got help me out, Jamal, Charlotte, and
Washington.
Washington. I feel like Washington can go in that East, bro, because
I was just right there. It is part of the Northeast as well. That's where it gets tricky, because it's like that technically is part of that region. And then Memphis, I mean, because they was originally in Vancouver, so that's why they stayed in.
I feel like they should be in the Southeast. I feel like they should literally be in the Southeast, bro. Like,
I mean, geographically speaking, I mean, yeah, that'll fit. It's like, I just know one thing: if they add Seattle and Las Vegas, that means there cannot be 17 teams in the West and 15 in the East. So something will have to change. Either Memphis, like you said, possibly Minnesota. I know somebody.
New Orleans too.
I feel like that is so borderline, because it's not too far from Houston, but at the same time, it's not too far from. It's like right in the smack dab in between. So it's like it can go either way with that one.
Right. And so
Minnesota just as liable, because that can go either way too. Because Minnesota is nothing but 400 miles from Chicago, so it's like
right. And literally Memphis is straight down I-57.
Yep. So 6-hour drive, 7-hour drive. So
yep. And so there will be some candidates if this happens. I feel like one of these teams, Jamar, will have to go east. Minnesota, New Orleans, kind of outliers. I see your point geographically, because it's right not too far from Houston. And so you can put them in the same division as Houston. And they all just working at Southwest, Dallas, Memphis, Houston, San Antonio. And what's the other team I'm missing, bro? Oklahoma City. And so they all could work that division. Would there be changes in the specific though? If Vegas get in, would you put them, Jamar, in the Pacific or the Southwest? I would say the Southwest. Because Vegas, and again, is not too far from Texas, but at the same time, then again, it's not too far from Cali
or Phoenix.
Right.
So that's tough. I mean, you got options there, but if anything, the biggest stain right now would be Memphis. So I mean, Memphis, I guess by default, should be in the Eastern Conference, if that's the case.
Right. And we mentioned Vegas and Seattle. I think would automatically, we both know, we'll put them in the Northeast again. Same division Northwest. As Portland, Utah, Denver. You put them in a division with them guys. And so that division, the Northwest, let's get those teams again.
Utah,
Denver, Portland,
Minnesota, Oklahoma City.
Okay, yeah, I don't see how. Literally, Oklahoma City, no. I feel like they should be a Southwest team.
They should be, but remember, they was originally Seattle, so they kind of just same thing with Vancouver and Memphis. So it's been needing a realignment for a while, honestly.
Right, exactly. And I feel like, they would literally, let's say, bring that there to where if they bring those teams in, that would be the alignment, because the Southwest is, San Antonio, Houston, Memphis, Dallas, and New Orleans. And so New Orleans, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they should be, if anything, Southeast, not Southwest. And you should put Seattle definitely back in the Northwest, where they truly belong, right next to Portland, right next to Utah, right next to Denver.
Yep.
You know, Minnesota, yeah, I guess, I guess.
It's
But Minnesota, I mean, yeah, they north. If they west, no, I just feel like they northeast or they central. But you know,
it's definitely a lot of ways to realign this. So I mean, it's definitely fun to think about, especially then since I think there's actually some momentum on this, and so I can't wait to see what happens. I think they were talking about 2025 ish. So if that's the case, we're not too far from that.
right? Yep, yep. And Rhonda, she stated, think the refs change every field, NFL and even baseball. And then Prescott JB stated it's the Death Star. I'm not sure what he means by the Death Star, but he means something.
I think he's referring to that Raiders stadium.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It is definitely black. It's beautiful. It's like a beautiful star. Yeah, it is. Because they got that big star in the stadium.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. They show do like right at the back of the stadium. You can, when you're on the field, you can see that huge star. Yeah.
Man, I need to go to Vegas. I've never been.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Just once.
Oh man. But yeah, that's all I got from NBA. If you want to talk some baseball real quick, we can.
Yeah.
All right. So our Sox. But at least the Cubs doing well, right? They're surging, but our Sox is still like feel like we're flat like some pop or something right now.
Yeah. Like
And
right.
yeah. And the more and more that this is happening, the more and more that Tony La Russa should be out the door. That's me.
Right.
The Phillies didn't have no problem getting rid of Joe Girardi yesterday at all. So I'm like, well, Tony, I mean, your time is coming up. Like, you got to go. That's how I feel. This team is poorly managed. We got so much talent, but yet still hovering around 500. Like, what is going on?
Right. Yep. Yeah, man. Literally, the Sox are 23-27, bro, and they are third in the division behind Cleveland and Minnesota. And yeah, man, that is, and I feel like me and you both know, Jamar, this is a winnable division. No disrespect to Minnesota, but
all disrespect to Minnesota. We should be winning this division.
Should be winning this division. They 31-23, but they feasting on, the Sox and these other teams right now. Cubs, they have been playing well. They 4 of 6 in the last 10, but they've won some really good diaper dandies that's been noteworthy of, primetime TV. And so they play better on the road than they do at home, which is crazy because Wrigley Field is a great experience. But they 22-30, fourth in their division. So hopefully they can increase. And the Sox, just terrible, man. Lost 4 in a row. They were 23-23 just a few days ago. Really 23-21 22-22 a few days ago too. Then before that, they were 22-21. So they've really lost like 5 or 6. 3 or 7 their last 10. And they've really very mediocre at home, bro. 11-13. And so but they got Minnesota coming up, so maybe they can make a statement. I don't know. We got them at home. So we'll see how.
I feel like that's critical because, I mean, that either closes the gap or breaks it wide open. Right. And definitely don't want to be flirting with being down in the division double digits at that point. We don't want to get anywhere near that. Need to be within 5 at all times.
Absolutely.
And we're down 6, so someone got to give. Your Angels look
really quickly as a correction, my brother.
Yeah.
The website was wrong. It's the Tampa Bay Rays we got today. We're at Tampa.
Okay.
At Tampa. Yeah, that ain't good.
Not at all.
That's not good.
Yeah. I'm about to say, your Angels came back down to earth, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Soon as we gave them praise.
And all they do when they show the game on TBS, bro, is all they do is just talk about Mike Trout the whole time. And I'm just like, can you win some games? Literally, I'm sitting there watching them dazzle him, and then the Yankees blow him out, 9-1. And I'm like, all right, great. You guys continue to give this guy all the praise for whatever purposes, but he's not producing on the field, man. And so, at least statistically, with victories, they're not. And so,
Yeah,
folks can keep giving me Jamar that, oh man, it's about team, and it is. But I feel like a superstar should bring the best out of his teammates.
I mean, you're right. You're right, and he's going to end up being a Hall of Famer regardless. But it's like just impact on winning should be a lot better. I get it. Baseball, it's a little different, but even still, like I still seen some of the greatest players ever, like, win. Like Derek Jeter, like he was a great player, but he also, I know, is one of the most winningest like attitudes, impacts that I've seen. I'm just saying. So do something.
That is absolute facts. Derek Jeter is like the fantastic example. That's a superstar.
That is, man. So yeah, I hope our team gets it together. At least, by the All-Star break, at least, show some sign of consistency.
Some sign of life.
Yeah, something, man, because go for it.
Do you feel, and if we're not showing life by the All-Star break, do you start evaluating if you should let go of Tony La Russa?
Absolutely. Come on. I've been advocating for this man to be gone since before day one when he got that DUI. Like, come on, man.
Before day one.
This man gotta go.
Yeah, man. But we have been talking about this, y'all, on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We stated this before the season started. And so, yeah.
Here's Victor making a thinking emoji. I know what he was thinking. Leave me alone, Vic. Leave us alone, man.
Victor, by the way, y'all, is a low-life Cubs fan. And so him and Chris Ford and all these other low-lifes, they have nothing to do but to troll the Sox. This is what they do. And so, for Victor, it's no greater way to begin his morning than to come on a Sox podcast and start talking about the Sox because they down right now.
That is so Vic.
Yeah, man.
Love you, bro.
Yeah. So, right now it's tough sledding, man. And it always kind of sucks when you see the Cubs kind of do well. And then like one of the Cubs fans come on the page and they remind us like,
here we go again.
Right. And so, yeah, man, it's all the fun, man. And so, yeah, I did tell you what, Jamar, the Cubs, about 2 years. Yeah.
Probably
they should.
They should.
They got some really good talent on this roster. We don't know their names. We just know that they got this Japanese guy who probably going to be one of the best players in baseball soon.
Also, if not, they can, get back to relevancy in the next, 3 to 5 years. I give them that much. I don't know. We might be looking at another 100 years for them. I don't know. I get a time capsule going on that one.
Right. So you feel like, like some folks won't be here when the Cubs like.
No. And by the time they win again, history won't even know that even happened. So we got to get a time capsule going here. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep. It's not us, it's you guys.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. I don't know. You got anything else to add with baseball?
No, bro. We'll keep as we do on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, everyone. We keep a close trajectory on the Sox and Cubs. And so we'll update whomever next week, And so that's our job here. We make sure we keep close tabs on our Chicago teams.
Absolutely. So, all right. At this point, if you got nothing else, this pretty much does it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this concludes another episode of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Before we get going, do you have any thoughts, shout outs, anything on your end?
It's getting warm out. Put the guns down, Chicago. Put the guns down, East Indiana, man. Put those things down. get outside, enjoy the weather, have fun, live life. Don't necessarily always worry about what a person got to say about you. Don't necessarily worry about what others think about you. Just know who you are, be you, and be the best you. And do that, man, while spreading love and encouraging others. Life is short, Jamar, as we know, bro, and continue to just, spread those good vibes, that positive energy, that love. Summertime Shy's here. Enjoy it. And enjoy it, man, not trying to flex your ego. Enjoy it just by enjoying life.
Absolutely. For me, I got maybe 3 quick hitters, NFL, that wasn't really too much to talk about, but just want to make note. Rest in peace to Marion Barber III, longtime Cowboy and also a one-time Bear. I just remember him being very hard to bring down, very hard-nosed football player, man. So definitely rest in peace to him. 2 players of retirement here. One, Ryan Fitzpatrick, also known as Fitzmagic, and also known as Fitztragic at times. But either way, he had a phenomenal career coming out of Harvard as a 7th-round pick and played with 9 teams, over 34,000 yards passing in his career. So, I mean, that's phenomenal for a 7th-round pick, if you ask me. Yep. And then Frank Gore signing a 1-day deal to retire as a 49er, 3rd leading rusher all time.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure
he's career, Frank. Now. Yep.
So, and then lastly, for my Madden players, John Madden does grace the cover this year, rightfully so, as he passed away a few months ago. Yep. So that's the legend right there. Between him being a coach and, with Al Davis back then and the innovativeness of them, always being edgy and taking chances on Black people and stuff like that, to John Madden in the booth. That's the first time I've seen John Madden in the booth during that time and playing the Madden game on Super Nintendo all the way up to now. So, salute to Madden, salute to John Madden.
Absolutely, bro. And yes, thank you for those shout outs and those reminders. Absolutely. Yes, sir. This is why Jamar is the guru. So, yes, thank you all. We appreciate it. Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast. You see my brother with his shirt.
Go get you one.
Yes.
We got a store. We'll leave the link in the group and in the comments below. Get you one of these shirts. They're comfy. We got them in blue as well. My bro Brandon and Ian, they got the blue ones. I got the gray one. There's even a black one.
Yes, sir. Even a black one. Yep. And so on that note, we thank y'all for rocking with us. Everybody, y'all have a great weekend. Peace.
Deuces.